Welcome to Wicked Darkness, Johnny's survival guide to the end times. This is a full audio reading of the book released in episodes. I made this free so it's easy to follow and so you don't get distracted from the message. Enjoy.
Wicked Darkness, Johnny's survival guide to the end times. Chapter 13, Part 1. False faiths and religious theater. Take heed that no man deceive you. Matthew 24:4. Warning. This chapter will step on toes. Maybe all of yours. I'm not trying to win followers. If you're looking for sugar-coated sermons, close the book now and go find a devotional that rhymes. This one doesn't. Don't slip and fall on the yellow brick road. Dorothy said, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. But in modern Babylon, it's more like, what will people think? How do I fit in? What if I offend someone? Oh my. Most people aren't afraid of beasts. They're terrified of disapproval. They don't want to be canceled. They don't want Jesus. They want applause, comfort, community, a sense of belonging, as long as it doesn't cost them anything real, especially if it's eternal, because the spiritual realm feels less tangible than the imaginary one they scroll through every day. Everyone loves a lion, until it roars at them. That's what makes this chapter dangerous. Not because I'm trying to offend you, but because the truth doesn't care who it offends. And modern religion has become a masterclass in people-pleasing. We are living in Babylon, but most churches are busy singing lullabies in the lion's den, playing church, while the real Lion of Judah is sidelined by a counterfeit. Don't get it twisted. Satan doesn't need to burn churches down. He just needs to fill them. He's got his own gospel, his own Jesus, his own influencers, bestsellers, and streaming sermons. Just enough truth to keep you comfortable, not enough power to raise the dead. You weren't called to blend in. You were called to follow the real king, even if the road gets dark and everyone calls you crazy. This chapter isn't about atheists. It's not hard to spot the cults, the gurus, the weirdos with man buns, sage, beads and incense. The real danger is inside the walls, the ones who say Lord, Lord, and still lead millions into deception, because Satan doesn't need a new religion. He just needs a refined imitation, with enough polish and performance, that no one notices the spirit left the building. Don't expect a curtain call, expect a warning. It's time to go lion hunting. To expose the imposters, the wolves in robes, the motivational speakers in pulpits, and the faithful followers of a fake Jesus. And if you're still chasing yellow brick roads, hoping some charming guru in a balloon can float you back to Kansas, this chapter might just wreck your theology. But if you're ready to face the truth, welcome backstage. Let's see who's really pulling the levers. Behind the curtain, beware of the snakes. Before Jesus ever talked about earthquakes, famines, wars, or rumors of wars, he gave a warning. Take heed that no man deceive you. And he didn't stop there. He followed it with a chilling prophecy. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Matthew 24:5. Let that sink in. They don't deny Christ, they arm him, and still deceive millions. These aren't cult leaders in caves. They're pastors in pulpits, politicians quoting 2 Chronicles, YouTubers with crosses in their bios, and wolves in their hearts. They use his name, they quote his words, but they twist his truth, and lead millions straight into deception. Jesus warned us about this. He gave us the parable of the wheat and the tares, a field full of look-alike believers. The workers wanted to rip the fakes out immediately, but the master said, let both grow together until the harvest. Matthew 13:30. That's where we are right now. The wheat and the tares are growing side by side. In churches, in movements, in social media feeds, in worship nights, and even in political rallies. They talk the same. They post the same Bible verses. They say God first. But they worship their country, their pastors, or their ideologies, more than they ever bowed to Jesus. And I get it. Some of this is going to hit hard, but like I've told you already, I'm a salesman. This isn't me pretending to be a theologian or a prophet. or an influencer. This is me telling you what I believe, and why. And your job is the same as mine. Beloved, believe not every spirit but try the spirits, whether they are of God. 1 John 4:1. Test what I say. Send me an email. Challenge me. I'll gladly fight the good fight of faith. Not because I'm smarter, but because I know who Jesus is. Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered, Flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. Matthew 16:16-17. That's the gospel. That's the good news. God didn't give up on his creation, and just hand us all over to Satan and say, okay, you win, Satan. They disobey just like you did. You can have them. I'm done. I'll go start over on another planet. That's not the gospel. That's not the story. The good news is that God already had a plan before the snake ever opened its mouth. And yeah, I know I've been unloading a lot of bad news in this book. That's why I'm not afraid of Satan or his little worker bees. Not even close. I've debated with Mormons and told them Jesus isn't Lucifer's brother, and why that idea is spiritually bankrupt. I've debated Jehovah's Witnesses and shown them that Jesus can't be Michael the Archangel, because a third party can't redeem you from sin. Only God can do that. I've been thrown out of shops owned by Muslims because I challenged them that Jesus wasn't just a prophet. Jesus rose from the dead, was seen by hundreds, and ascended into heaven, where he's now seated at the right hand of God. The last time I checked, Muhammad died on June 8, 632 CE, in Medina, Saudi Arabia. His grave is located within the Prophet's mosque in Medina, specifically in a chamber known as the Green Dome, so we can go visit his grave together, like a vacation retreat. And after that, we can go visit the Vatican and look for the grave of the popes, Mary, and the saints, because they're all dead too. While we're there, we can swing by Rome and visit the graves of a few Caesars, and then take a flight to Egypt to see the tombs of the pharaohs. There's only one man in the universe with an empty tomb. And spoiler alert, it's not Buddha, Krishna, or your favorite TikTok guru. We can fly to Jerusalem and go and pay his tomb a visit, as millions do each year. I really don't need to go, because there's absolutely nothing to see there. It's empty. I've confronted cults and weak theology, because what you believe matters. Take heed what ye hear. Mark 4:24. And after you hear something, take heed what you believe. When I was much younger, I used to wear a t-shirt with a green Buddha nailed to a cross. Above it, in bold letters, it read, "What's wrong with this picture, man?" I got stares, screams, debates, and a few people so angry, they wanted to punch me in the face. Turns out, the truth doesn't just set you free, it ticks people on the way out. Today, I just don't care what people believe. You want to believe the moon is made out of cheese? Go for it. However, I will happily destroy your theology. If you would like me to discuss Christ crucified with you, you might not like what I'm saying, but it's for your own good. It's far better to fall on the rock and be broken, than have the rock fall on you and be crushed. I'm not trying to get rich on this book. You want to give me money? Great. Join one of my business ventures for a few bucks, and we can earn some money together. Well, we still can. Paul made tents. Peter, James, and John were fishermen. Jesus was a carpenter. You've got to occupy until he comes. You've got to do something. But don't get caught up in religious theater. Don't fall for the show. Broadway isn't the only place running full-time performances. Let me tell you what really pushed me to write this book. I was texting with a friend of mine, a guy who knows his stew, and I sent him a YouTube video of a Jewish rabbi bashing on Christian scholars. The rabbi was trying to discredit Christianity by going after the manuscripts and spinning Christianity as a Gentile invention. Typical stew. So my friend left a comment under the video, and no one touched it, because it's hard to argue with truth.
Hey, thanks for listening. You've just heard an episode of Wicked Darkness, Johnny's survival guide to the end times. If you want to read along or dive deeper, go to wickeddarkness.com. It's also available on Kindle and in paperback on Amazon. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs it, someone who's stressed, questioning things, or sensing that something in the world just isn't right, someone who can feel that something is off. Have them listen. Subscribe to follow the full series. It's free. People keep waiting for the Wicked One to arrive. What they don't understand is this: he's already here. If you want to know what I do when I'm not turning the book I wrote, Wicked Darkness, Johnny's Survival Guide to the End Times, into an AI podcast for YouTube, Rumble, and probably TikTok, check out the websites I built at coolcarguy.com and freaksites.com. Freaksites is a network of websites like Travelers Freak, Cars Freak, Housing Freak, Weapons Freak, and Runner Freak. I use them myself to create listings that work like mini stories around topics people already care about: cars, travel, housing, running, weapons culture, and a lot more. Most content online disappears into feeds. I built these sites around the idea that stories don't have to. Anyway, if you're curious, check them out. You'll figure it out pretty quickly. And if this episode was worth your time, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with somebody else.